Hughes himself. That decision should be made by May the 14th. Now, imagine you're playing the drums as part of a parade in London's West End, and then suddenly the Queen appears, telling you to be quiet. Well, it wasn't actually the Queen, but Dame Helen Mirren, the actress who plays the Queen, or has on several occasions, appearing in full stage costume. These pictures given to us by the comedian Chris Dangerfield, who lives nearby. The musicians could be heard apparently inside the theatre during the first act of her play The Audience last night, and Dame Helen said she used some rather thespian words in order to ask them or command them to be quiet. Well, let's speak to Liam Emerson from the community drumming group Batalla London, or was it Battaya London? Battalla. Liam, and you were conducting that group. She said she used some fairly thespian language. Just talk me through it, because certainly looking at the papers today, there were more sort of asterisks than letters.
Yes, that's right. Well, we were there to promote the As One in the Park festival at the end of May, and we were sort of promoting the festival through the streets of Soho, through Old Compton Street, and then the organisers asked us just to go around the corner into Brewer Street and into Rupert Street, and one of the bars opposite stage door is part of the festival, so they said, OK, stay here for 5 minutes and do your thing. As you can see in the video, stage door is right behind us.
But when did you realise it was her? So you were sort of happily banging away, were you? And then just describe what happened.
Well, I sort of looked over, and a woman in a tiara came over, looking quite irate, shouting. I mean, she was quite angry. You could hear her over the drums. That's how sort of angry she was. And it took me a couple of seconds just to realise, because I kind of double-took and thought, that looks like Helen. Oh, no, it is Helen Mirren, dressed as the Queen. So I thought, right, we best stop. So I just stopped everybody. So it worked. Her tantrum worked.
When you say it was a tantrum, I mean, just give us an idea of what she said to you, and how long did it go on for?
Well, we were there for about 5 minutes, and it was the last 5 minutes of the first act, I think, and we'd sort of the subtleties of the play we'd kind of ruined, because we were very close. I mean, obviously we were there legitimately. We were just honouring a gig commitment.
But what did she say?
Well, it's difficult to say at 5:20 without... she made herself clear. She'd literally just come off stage and run outside stage door, and just sort of in no uncertain terms told us to stop.
Was she frightening?
It was more surprising, really. It's not every day you get told off by a dame dressed as the Queen.
I mean, she's known, isn't she, for being, in her 60s, I think, and being very, very beautiful. But was there quite a sort of a terrifying side to her as well? I mean, you stopped, didn't you? I mean, there was no question you were going to carry on.
Yes. Well, we were towards the end of our performance anyway, so we were due to finish in about 5 minutes after that. But yeah, once she'd come out and told us in no uncertain terms how unhappy she was. I mean, she'd said that we'd ruined the performance and people had paid £100 for a ticket.
And she just storms off, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So you were the one she was speaking to just when we looked at those pictures there. I mean, do you understand her point? I mean, she's saying that people are spending £100 to go and see this play, and the whole place being ruined because of all this banging going on outside.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, because we're both performers. We had our thing there. We were sort of doing our performance, and she was doing hers. It's just unfortunate that ours is quite a lot louder.
You haven't been knighted for drumming, though, have you?
Not yet, no.
No. But do you understand that people who do pay that sort of money? I mean, has it ever occurred to you, perhaps, when you're going through Theatreland, that you might be actually heard inside?
Well, we were just sort of doing our gig, we were doing our thing. We'd played in Old Compton Street just before, like I said, and we didn't have any trouble there. And they just said sort of go around the corner. So, well, obviously, once it's happened, we'll probably be wary of it next time.
Right. Well, you've got some great publicity, haven't you? I mean, this wasn't done as a way of just getting some good publicity for your gig, was it, in Victoria Park?
It was publicising the As One in the Park event. So, but I think after Saturday, I think they're gonna get us involved in the actual festival itself. And word has it that they're going to recreate the scene. Somebody's going to dress as Helen Mirren, dressed as the Queen, and
you haven't thought about inviting her down, have you? So she can she can join in.
I might do. Do you think I should pop to the Gielgud and see if I can have a word with her?
Take your drum with you.
Yeah, I think I will.
Liam, very nice to see you. Thanks very much indeed.